Hello and welcome to a Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix. This one of Unveiling. I think that's how you say it. So, before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can get it for free on itch.io. But if you want to support the people that make this game and or get the newest version earlier, you can go to their Patreon, which is $3 a month. So, let's start. Boop. And I'm gonna reset my face, just in case. No. You can't just do that. Yes, we'll fix this mistake. We have to. There'll be nothing left. Not in that way. Just give me some time. Wait, but not in that way. Just give me some time. It has been enough time since it all began. Their insolence. They don't know that. I can fix this. I just have to go and... Do you know what will happen if you go there? I don't remember this intro, though. That's right. With the... Well, we don't know what could. Also, we won't help you. You can't just... We promise not to do that. It is us, or them. In any case, they'll be... And you think that might help you? Snake sounds. What was that one thing? Don't be on his silence! You have to fix all of this mess, or else. Will he be alone? That's not fair. Fine, I'll do it. I know it's been a long time since I did that quick look, of this game, but I don't remember that part of the intro. Oh well. I wanted to do this game because, it looks nice, and it has an interesting story, and stuff like that. Also, it has a horse on it, but it's not everything about horses, I mean, there have been a couple that I wanted to do, but yeah, this is one I chose. Though I need to set a time slot for when the people choose. Anyways, I woke up breathing heavily. A nightmare. At least, it wasn't the same as usual. I sighed, relieved at those weird dreams are over. A ray of sunshine from the window suddenly hits my eyes. Instinctively, I cover my face with my paw. I notice how the light still passes through my fingers, making my fur shine in the sunlight. Well, here we go. I got up from the bed and started stretching my body, feeling my tail not respond to my movements. A cramp. I slept on it, probably. Hey, at least they go the he. I laughed. When I felt the blood return to my tail, give me those strange tickles. I wonder how long you can have, blood not go to things. Because there have been times when I woke up in the middle of the night and I can't move a limb because I slept on something. With my tail now working, I turned my head to a small closet next to my bed. I opened the drawer and took out my clothes, the usual. My scarf, a tunic to cover my chest, and some shorts. Just enough to cover my body and feel comfortable. I put my clothes on my clothes and stand in front of the mirror. Look at the guy. He's blue. Good morning. Arthur, main character. I smiled at a reflection, feeling totally ready to start a new day and work as always. And get Scamby eggs. I groan when I feel my stomach is empty, so I head towards the kitchen. Also, I wonder if I could change it so that stuff is a bit higher. Seems a bit higher. I'm not sure. Though, we could always test it by doing this. Okay, whatever. Maybe it's the sound volume. GamerWolf's ASMR. I groan when I feel my stomach is empty, so I head towards the kitchen. First, let's get something to eat. I say, rubbing my tummy, further emphasizing how hungry I feel. Where is she? Normally, she comes in right before I can put some clothes on. Uwu? Right after saying that, a familiar smell reaches my nose. I hear a knock on the door. I smiled myself, knowing who it might be. Coming. I took a detour from the kitchen, heading now to the front door, feeling quite happy. Once there, I grabbed the knob, Uwu, and opened the door. I don't think it's an American term, but I think it's an English term where knob means, you know, Uwu. With a smile on her face, she raises her hand to greet me. Good morning, Elfie. Waking up late as usual? I groan because the stupid nickname that she always uses for me because of my short stature. Still using that nickname? I am literally a few inches shorter than you. How much is a few? I crossed my arms and showed my tongue to her, Uwu, in the most childish manner. Speak a little louder. I can't hear you from down there. Yeah, I can't hear you from down there. She gives me a little pat on the head, with a grin on her face. So funny. Aldara. I kept making faces to make the moment even dumber than it already was. Thank you for doing those ha-has, because I'm like, ha 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 ha. We both simply laugh. How old are we again? We're 20, I guess. Pretty old for being protagonists. Aldara is trying not to laugh. Being an adult doesn't mean we can't do stupid stuff like when we were cubs. Anyway, sorry for being late. I was training. Yeah, I can smell sweat, grass, dirt, and... I sniff Aldara once more. Rust coming from your sword. Wait, doesn't this guy have like a really good sniffer? But also, you shouldn't have rust on your swords. You should get rid of it and use a new one. Oh, I guess she does have an old sword. I smiled and headed towards the kitchen to start making breakfast. Brr. Jeez, I always forget about your weird ability to identify scents very precisely. It was a bit scary how good your nose is. Aldara shivers as she takes a seat next to my table. It's not like I could smell your soul or anything. She looked at me with a raised eyebrow and crossed arms, as if she was waiting for the joke. Why are you looking at me like that? Come in, housekeeping. Oh, they're already here. I leave the eggs boiling while I make my way to the door for a second time. How do you know? Before she could finish the sentence, I playfully point to my nose. I don't think sniffers are that good, but keep forgetting about it. She scratches her cheek, a little embarrassed. I rush over to where I heard the door being desperately knocked on. That little pup. I open the door, and suddenly a pair of little paws grab me by the neck. Aha! Surprise attack! Whoa. Little creature seemed to be having fun hanging from my neck, laughing playfully. If I was an assassin, you'd be so dead right now. I saw the little fox in front of me. It's not nice killing other animals, Matthew. I said sarcastically. Are you sure I'm Matthew? He gave me a defiant gaze. Meanwhile, his twin brother, Jaden, stood silently behind him. He noticed I was looking at him, and so he gave me a warm smile and greeted with his paw. The two foxes were waiting for me to do some kind of magic trick. You really want me to do it? Jaden and Matthew nodded at the same time, one so gentle and sweet, the other one always full of energy. Use your weird dog powers. Matthew was excited to see some magic. I can't help but laugh at the silly phrases that he usually says. You are the only one, besides Mom, that can distinguish between us. Sure? Yeah, we're the only ones. Also reset face, maybe? Jaden was trying to convince me. Fine, I can't say no to you two. I separated the twins, so I could fully see them both. It's really easy to know who is who by their personalities alone, but I know it may be difficult to differentiate them at first glance. I began to sniff around them in a somewhat exaggerated way so Matthew could really feel the magic. It tickles! After I finished smelling them, I noticed the shampoo, soap, and flowery essence from Jaden's body. On the other hand, Matthew smelled like his brother, but with a touch of candy and sugar scent instead. You're Jaden, and you, Matthew. I pointed them respectively. Whoa, you're right.
Whoa.
Yay, hee hee. Both seemed to be pleased by my magic trick. So, are my pair of cute little foxes ready here? Or already here? Aldara appeared behind me.
Aww.
Aw, I could eat you both entirely with kisses, she said while pulling the twins' cheeks with a motherly tone. Do people still do that? Pull people's cheeks? One that I usually find kind of dumb. Matthew really likes Aldara's attention, but Jaden always gets embarrassed by it. The twins look so funny with their faces stretched by her. You should wait to eat me with kisses on our wedding. Matthew gives her a hopeful smile. His statement caught me off guard, but it seemed like it was funny enough for Aldara because she was trying not to laugh. Where do you want to marry? At a beach? Oh, we could even ask the great Bogan to bless our wedding. Bodgan. Matthew asked Aldara with a determined look on his face. I'll give you points for your bravery and sincerity. Ladies like that, but you're too young to even think of that. I'm 10. I'm a full grown-up. God, I remember back in those days when those, you see something that's 13, it's like, my gosh, they're a hecking adult. They have, tallness, maturity. I think I see some stubble on their face. And then these days it's like, oh, you're 20s. You're so young. You're like a baby. Of course you are, Pipsqueak.
Aww.
The panther ruffled his hair and took him to the kitchen. Matthew seemed disappointed, having been rejected at such a young age. Jay and I looked at each other and simply laughed at Matthew's attempt to marry Aldara. Let's get to the kitchen table. I'm almost done with the breakfast. Little Fox followed me into the kitchen while Aldara and Matthew were already on their seats. They were talking to each other, laughing, and making the table feel less lonely. Being with these three dummies almost makes you feel like you didn't lose anything. Spooky. Wait. Did I lose something? I lost. We want food! We want food! Matthew's voice snaps me out of my mind. Don't be so loud, Matthew. I don't know, you saved me from, I don't know, a panic attack or something like that. Or I don't know, echo sickness? Jaden, annoyed, stretched at his brother's cheek, but Matthew was too hungry to complain. I rushed to the kitchen to finish the food. The eggs were ready. Okay, so I know there's bird people in this universe. Do we get, are there regular chickens in this universe? Just saying. I made some tomato sauce to put on top of them, accompanied by some beans, with a little fancy bundle of rice on the side, and voila! Breakfast for 4 mouths. Done. I gave each one a plate, and we started with the feast. Smells amazing. Enjoy your meal, everybody. At least there's not lip-smacking sounds. Ugh. What was I thinking of? Oh, yeah. Just somebody that I know that after they eat, they like to smack their lips for a good 30 minutes. And it's just okay, please stop. Anyways, Matthew had already eaten half his meal when Jaden said that. Aldara and I grinned and started to eat. Nom 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 nom. We enjoyed the meal and discussed various topics. I love this quaint, everyday interaction. Hey, Arthur, you want me to help you with the usual? Little Fox took my attention. Yeah, pretty please. I can't believe you ask a 10-year-old to do the math for you. Hey, we live in a medieval society. The fact that we might be able to read is a miracle. She shook her head, disappointed. I covered Jaden's ears. Shh. Don't listen to the mean panther. You and your brain are the best employees. Jaden looked at Aldara with a bashful smile. I thought I was your... no, best employee. Matthew groaned with his mouth full of food. Mom says you mustn't talk with your mouth full. Oh god, now I'm remembering somebody else that I used to work with, and they would chew food with their mouth open, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna have to look away while eating food because I can see down your esophagus. Sorry. Matthew lowered his head, with his mouth full. Of course you are too, Matthew. No one can carry heavy boxes or take orders as fast as you. Yay. He turned back with his happy usual self. You really hit rock bottom with child exploitation. Hey, I'm not exploiting them. Look, they're very happy and well fed. Matthew nodded happily, yet again with his mouth full. Don't worry, Aldara. We're happy to help. Arthur gives us good company since Mom is working all day. Also, we really like spending time with Arthur. And his food is really good. Matthew finally seems to be done with his meal, no longer with his mouth full. Aw, Jaden, that's so sweet. I love you. Aldara couldn't act less mildly with these two. Again, maybe a little too much for me. Hey, get away from my future wife. Matthew threatened his brother with a spoon. I'm gonna spoon you, brother. Aldara and I laughed at the silly scene of the twins. Once we all finished breakfast, Aldara and I started to wash the dishes. It's like our everyday routine. Meanwhile, Matthew was cleaning the tables and sweeping the restaurant floor. Jaden, on the other hand, was doing math at the table, writing all the earnings and expenses from it this week. And as far as that was going, things were going to look good this week. There were fewer and fewer customers in this restaurant. I mean, my restaurant. The demon's here to be like, yes, you suck at advertising. Everything went wild since that happened. Everyone, they fear me. The disappearances. And that was all my morning with Dad. So like, right, it's starting to come back to me because it's been a hot minute since I've done this game. I just kind of want to quickly look because I keep backups of these things. Oh yeah, I did this a year minus a month ago. Yeah, pretty much. And add 2 days. And it's like the main character might be cursed or something like that, or maybe his entire family's killed, I'm not sure. Aldara sighs. Honestly, I hadn't really listened to anything she said. Stupid thoughts. Arthur, you dumbass. Say something to her. Oh, that's crazy. You weren't listening to anything I was saying, were you? Fuck. Yeah, you're right. I confessed with shame. Is there something wrong, Arthur? Her words took me by surprise. I was fully expecting her to be mad, but she looked worried instead. No. Just lost in my thoughts as usual. I'm sorry. Don't be. It's okay. She smiled at me, then kept on washing the dishes. Now I feel bad. God damn it, Arthur. You're dumb. I try to lighten things up. What will the hero of the town be doing today? Aldara snickered at that really smart and sweet nickname I gave her. Hey, it's no joke. I spend all day protecting the town's residents. Even risking... Wait, you spend all day protecting the town's residents, even risking your life. Also, that's a big blush. How touching, Elfie. Are elves supposed to be small? Wouldn't that be like dwarvens or something? She threw some water on her eyes to simulate tears. I groaned and blushed a bit. Maybe it was a little too corny for me. Talking seriously, today I'm investigating some classified stuff. There's classified things? I mean, I guess, yeah, confidential, whatever. Aldara closed the tap. Because I was saying, Dad is increasing the security these days because... She hesitated, leaving an awkward silence. Still happening, isn't it? She looked away, trying to leave the subject to die. Just please be careful. Aldara looked at me, relieved, and nodded. Everything's gonna be fine, Arthur. I promise. She leaned on me and rubbed her face with mine to reassure me. Oh. Once everything was done, Aldara took her stuff to leave. Well, time for duty. She sighed, a little tired, but gave the twins a big smile anyways. Be safe, Aldara. See you later, beloved future wife. Matthew shouted, with the greatest smile on his face. Let me walk you out, Aldi. Ah, short. We walked to the main entrance. Arthur. She stopped abruptly and looked at me seriously. Could you come with me to the graveyard tonight? Her mood changed. I can read. Started to give me a bad feeling about it, or startled me, and I have a night shift, so I want to take the opportunity to visit Mom. Aldara was trying to put on a strong front, but her tail moving side to side revealed she was nervous. It must be very difficult for her. Of course I do. I grabbed her shoulders and gave her a reassuring smile. Thank you, Arthur. Don't mention it, mean panther. Aldara showed her tongue to continue the silly movement that we'd had this morning. Well, take care and look after those two. I nodded as she said her last goodbye. Then I made my way back to the kitchen. As she's slowly walking over to the side. This is for your own good. What did she... I wonder what that's going to be about. Because for that quick look, we didn't get too far. Like, we closed the shop, and then, we'll see. Aldara closed the door before I could say anything. Okay. That made me feel weird. Arthur. A paw took my attention away from the door. Oh, Jaden, are you done with the bills? Yes. Do you mind helping me check it out? Of course not. Let's get back to the table. I walked with Jaden to the wooden table where he had all the papers, bills, and things I still had a hard time understanding. This thing called math and addition and subtraction was hard. I have to admit, I feel dumb letting a 10-year-old do the bills for me, but he was also 10 times better at doing math than I am. He really is a smart little fox. Jaden sat, and I did the same in front of him. Then he extended his paw, and I held it with mine. Thanks. Little fox had this quirk of grabbing the paw of someone close to him. It made him feel more sure of himself. It's cute, but sad, because this thing started when his dad was a victim of that. I know this must be dumb for you. Sorry. Are you really saying that because your brother's right there dancing with a broom? That's probably pretending it's Aldara. We both look at Matthew. There, he was giving it his all on that imaginary dance floor. We tried to suppress our giggles, so we didn't interrupt Matthew's fantasy. Fine, I get it, but still, I promise to work on this thing I have. Hey, you don't have to promise me anything. You do it at your own pace, and of course, do it for yourself only. You're still a cub, though. I know. I don't think you should be worrying about this kind of stuff. I wish I wasn't just a cub. Jaden whispered, a little crestfallen. I knew exactly what he meant by that. Jaden, you know that wasn't your fault. Anyway, you're right, Arthur. Let's finish this, so you can start things up today at the restaurant. Little Fox smiled at me, so that wouldn't bring it up again. Sure. I forced a smile to comply. Jaden proceeded to verify everything. A couple of times, I heard him say things like, "This is wrong," or "This is okay," but always holding on to my paw. Your paw? It's cold. Is everything okay? Oh, it's nothing. Trust me. Keep going, please. I laughed nervously. I was still thinking about the meeting with Aldara tonight. It was weird. I didn't know why I felt uneasy. Was I exaggerating? Was it just that graveyards scare me? Well, graveyards are generally scary, even more at night. However, I don't think it was anything to do with that. Well, she promised that everything would be okay, and I trust her. I really trust her. He's like, "Are you listening to me?" The day went on as usual. A few customers, orders, dishes, and a little bit of salt over here, a little pepper over there, taste this, smell that. A day like any other. I sipped some soup from a dish I was making. Tastes fine, but fragrance is important. I threw some bay leaves into the broth and let it settle for some minutes before I focused on another dish. Man, now that I'm thinking of it, I want some soup. The problem is, soup generally hot. I live in Texas. Hot soup make me hot. I don't want to be hot in Texas. 2 potatoes, a pinch of salt. I tried the soup again. Something's missing. Or maybe not. No, Arthur, it's veggie soup ready yet? Matthew watched me from the kitchen door. Oh, yeah. I quickly poured soup into a bowl and handed it to Matthew. It smells delicious, I said Matthew cravingly. A little bit of saliva coming out of his mouth. Hey, it's for the customer, not for you. Matthew giggled and quickly went to deliver the dish. Delicious, huh? Then why don't I feel that way? If it's so delicious, why isn't this place packed like it used to be? Tables full. A crowded atmosphere, but pleasant nothingness. Orders everywhere. Despite it, deep inside me, I knew the answer very well. I guess we'll see in the future. I inhaled deeply, filling my lungs with as much oxygen as I could, before I let it out slowly. Just think about it calmly, Arthur. None of this is your fault. Just keep working and smiling. Everything will be fine soon. Everything will be fine. Everything. The sun was starting to set, and I still couldn't sell enough to make it up for the day. This sucks. However, I remained positive despite it all. I know I can handle this. Suddenly, the batter and familiar smell hits my nose. The bitter. Oh, great. It's him again. Or maybe someone smells just like that him? Please. Arthur, the bossy bird is here. He's looking for you. He says that your presence is required immediately. Matthew whispered, giggling a little, saying that last part with a high-pitched voice, mimicking the bossy bird. My nose didn't lie then. Tell him that I'll be there in a second. Also, don't call him that. It'd be bad if he heard you. I try to hide the smirk by half-heartedly scolding the little fox. I admit, it's kind of funny, but it's wrong to make fun of others. Matthew giggled again. Sorry, it's a weird god. Just happens, knowing full well that I enjoy when he makes fun of the bossy bird. But I repeat, it's wrong. I walk to the entrance of my small restaurant, currently empty, to meet the animal I at least went to see today. Well, for a second there I thought he had a long beak, but I guess I was thinking more of that bird guy from the smoke room. You know, the pastor guy who, spoiler, something happens, but this guy's a lot shorter beak. The peacock grumbled once I was in his presence. Hey, Ziliaris? Ziliaris. How are you today? I put on a fake smile, hiding how little I went to see him. Finally, I have so many more important things to do than wasting my time with your little pigsty. He looked at my restaurant with quite a bit of distaste. Yeah. His personality is the same as always. Could you skip the insult and get straight to the point? Now that I look at it, this guy kind of reminds me of an avian version of... Oh, that one guy from... Adastra. Because he's white, not particularly big, seems so condescending and all that stuff. It's been a hard minute, well, more than that, a couple of years, since I've played Adastra. I said, crossing my arms, leaning against the entrance door. Well, that's perfect for me. I have to get ready for the Festival of Aiden. I had completely forgotten that was in a few weeks. Everything has to be perfect for the Festival of the Great Bongan. Who's Great Bongan, anyways? I guess maybe the person in charge, or maybe a god or goddess, something. Of course, I'm the only one competent enough to make everything look flawless. As I listened to Ziliaris' endless narcissism, I heard Jaden and Matthew chuckling. They are probably making fun of Ziliaris, like they usually do. Well, I should probably listen to what he says, or at least attempt to. I didn't want to come across as rude by ignoring Ziliaris, so I decided to listen to his boring, super important to-do list for the festival. Still, from time to time, I heard the twins chuckling and muttering things. This town is a pigsty, so I need to fix every imperfection because... blah blah, blah 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 blah, blah 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 blah, blah 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 blah, blah blah. I sighed, tiredly, and accepted my fate of listening to Ziliaris' chatter. I wish I could load a save point and have chosen something else. I wonder if this is just third wall breaking, or if this might be some kind of, something actually important. Huh? I was startled, having disconnected from reality for a minute. Did I fall asleep standing up, or just get distracted by something? I think my body automatically shuts down when it hears more than 10 words from Ziliaris. And speaking of whom, he was no longer in front of me. Did he leave? But shortly after, my question was answered by a growl coming from where the twins were playing. It seems Ziliaris caught the twins making fun of him again. I walked over to where all the fuss was coming from. Please excuse my brother, Ziliaris. We know that it wasn't right. I guess I should have been watching the twins. Though I'm gonna try this without, loading old saves. I don't know. Surprisingly, Jaden got up from his seat and apologized to the bird. At least one of you is polite. Ziliaris kept grumbling and checking his list, which I only just realized he had with him this whole time. Well, we have to go, Arthur. It's dangerous to be away from home when it's dark out. Oh, but I want to keep playing with the chicken. I noticed that Ziliaris wrote faster and angrier after hearing the little fox's comment. Matthew, stop it. Jaden pulled his brother's pointy ear. Okay, fine. Little fox got bummed out. Thanks for your help. It's great to have you two here as always. I gave them both a goodbye hug. Yeah. I'll be outside, waiting for you to finish your family scene. I heard Matthew stick his tongue out over my shoulder to mock Ziliaris. Ziliaris? When she was gone, I separated the twins and looked at them. I think I remember something where I maybe broke the game when I tried to load a save or something. That was like maybe a couple of things ago. You both be very careful on your way home, please. Come on, Arthur. We don't live that far. Besides, look at these babies. No one will mess with us. Little Fox flexed his arm proudly, but no muscle stood out. Then I looked at Jaden. Take care of him, please. Matthew puffed in embarrassment. Don't worry. Jaden took his brother's paw. I wouldn't let anything bad happen to him. Hey! I should be the one saying that. Matthew was still a little upset. Jaden just giggled and watched his brother throw a tantrum. The three of us left the restaurant and saw Ziliaris waiting for me impatiently. See ya, Ziliaris. The twins, in unison, one obviously louder than the other. About time you two get your fleas off or something before I lose my patience. Ziliaris cried in pain as Matthew plucked one of his feathers and then ran as fast as he could, his brother just behind him, trying to keep up. His scream was loud enough that his voice rasped, to the point of sounding like a cackle. Thanks for the kiss, Ziliaris. Ziliaris. The sly little fox yelled at him as he fled, dragging his brother behind him. The nearby animals, which had watched the entire scene, struggled to hold back their laughter, knowing well that Ziliaris was an authority figure. When he managed to notice them anyway, he visibly began to blush. You spoiled brat! Ziliaris shouted furiously. Ziliaris is just a little fox. He's just a little guy. A little bean. I said between chuckles. Do you know how long it takes for feathers to grow? Dunno. I'm not a chicken. Peacock! You can't say that word. I'm a peacock, you uncultured swine. Lord Ziliaris, are you okay? Man, these guards are himbos. We heard you screaming. Two guards, who had been accompanying Ziliaris, suddenly appeared. The kangaroo and the cheetah seemed concerned by the explosive nature of the peacock. Silence, you fools! The guards stood firm and fearful. Poor things, I pity them. Ziliaris took a deep breath again, trying to calm his anger. Give this commoner the bag. The kangaroo quickly grabbed the bag from the side of his armor and handed it to me somewhat awkwardly. Here it is. Confused, I opened the cloth bag. My eyes widened at the sight of a large number of gold coins. Ziliaris, don't get me wrong. This was sent to you by the great Bodgan, he said pridefully. As if he hadn't already done enough for you. Ziliaris laughed in disgust. But this is too much. I can't accept such an amount. I still couldn't believe how much money I had in my paws. How dare you try and refuse Bodgan's blessing, you ungrateful cat. Wait, we're a cat? Okay. I don't know, I thought we were like some sort of canid. Though, I guess we do have not a poofy tail. Did I say anything? No, wait, I didn't say anything. I could only look away with some guilt. But obviously, I'm not giving you all this for free. I looked at Ziliaris expectantly, waiting for an explanation for the amount of gold he just gave me. Ziliaris opened the scroll he had been carrying all this time and cleared his throat to make a speech. By decree of the royal Bodgan, you will be one of the cooks who prepare each and every dish that will be served at the festival of Aden. One of the cooks? Okay. He ended the statement with some sort of taste in his mouth. The nearby animals that heard Ziliaris' words began to murmur among themselves in astonishment. He got chosen? He will serve the food? What is the great Bodgan thinking? Shh! Don't question him. It has to be some kind of joke. With my arms, I tried to cover the bare parts of my abdomen from all the stares I was getting. My abdomen? Humph. There being better and finer cooks, he ended up choosing you. He huffed in disgust. In any case, this is your stipend payment for providing your services at the festival. Being your first time participating in this, I recommend you get yourself a more... You raised an eyebrow, looking at me from head to toe. Decent attire. Like, seriously, I know these himbos have all their things out, but you're a cook, not a himbo. I don't want to humiliate the other chefs by bringing such rags into the kitchen. Me, cooking for thousands of animals. That's insane. Still, this is too much money. It's all so sudden. I don't know if I'm ready for such responsibility. I can't turn this down, though. Well, the time for me to leave. I expect very little from you, so don't push yourself too hard. Without paying mind to his provisions, I stamped out of my trance. Wait, Ziliaris! I yelled before the peacock walked away along with his guards. Now what? Ashamed, I swallowed hard, ooh, and looked at him. Tell Bodgan that I really appreciate his help. Ziliaris huffed pridefully. You owe him your life. Don't forget that, dishwasher. Ziliaris left, leaving me with a hole in my stomach and a knot in my throat. Ooh. I know that. I owe him everything. I said to myself, with pain in my chest. The animals that gathered only to witness the scene scattered. Some regarded me as a freak, while others avoided eye contact. I grabbed the sack of money tightly, and closed the door of my restaurant. Time to close. Arthur, and that's how another day ends. Just more unusual than the average days in this village. This really took me by surprise. Me, a cook, for the festival. But why now? It's been years since. You owe him your life. Don't forget that, dishwasher. The words of Ziliaris haunt my mind the whole time as putting away tables and chairs. It's been years since he... in that place. Okay, it's kind of hard to see here, but then I look over there and it's like, I see over there. Because that is a bit lighter. Yes, spooky looking. But that's why he was there that day. In that place? What was I doing there? Wait, where was I that day? My head starts to hurt. I was alone? Of course. But without thinking, I threw a large amount of water on my face. I turned off the water faucet and kept leaning in the sink as I took a deep breath. There's no need to think about the past, Arthur. You're fine now. I dried my fur with the closest rag I had. Huh? I noticed something smelled like smoke nearby. Oh, right, the firewood. I forgot to put it out. I sighed tiredly. ASMR. I took a glass and filled it with water. Normally the wood is left to consume itself with the fire, but I really dislike the smell of burning wood. I removed the pots and other utensils, putting them in the sink. Slowly, and from a distance, I poured water to put out the fire. The sound was somewhat soothing, but I couldn't say the same about the smell. That day, the smell. What's that? The loud sound, and the small pieces of hot wood flying gave me terrible fright. I dumped the water abruptly because I was distracted. My reflexes helped me jump back from the fire quickly. Shit! I put out a paw on the chest in relief. Just when I thought the danger had passed, I felt a burning sensation on the paw of my chest. I piece of wood had burned a small part of the fur on my paw. No. No, 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 no. I yelled in desperation as I ran to the bathroom. Man, this is a fancy-ass bathroom. I slammed the door open and grabbed the soap as fast as I could, then rubbed on the part where I burned my fur. No, 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 please, please. It was too late. The smell had already entered my nose. My eyes began to fill with tears, and my breathing accelerated terribly. I felt my body lose strength. I tried to go to my bed, but I couldn't see where I was. Everything was so dark. My eyes were full of tears, and my heart was pounding terribly. I couldn't see anything. I couldn't keep my balance. I protected my face with my paws, so as to not hit it when I fell to the floor. No, not again. Please, please. I felt like choking. Then, a sharp pain in my chest made me grab it tightly. The world, already dark, became distorted with red and black colors around me. My shadow began to consume me like the black substance. Arthur, calm down. Nothing is real. The viscosity was so palpable that it didn't feel like something imaginary. A thing rose from the ground and started to consume me. It swelled my tail, legs, back, and finally part of my face. The floor was engulfed in flames and slowly climbed up to my legs. The ground seemed like a dark void from which hands of the same liquid tried to reach at me and drag me down with them. I could see deformed faces crying in agony. Those hideous creatures. Why did they look so familiar? Help us, Arthur. Burns. Please. Hurts. So much. Save us. I can't stand it. Those awful and suffering things cried out my name with such agony. You are not real. You aren't. Leave me alone. I tried to rip that horrible thing out of my body. I ripped and scratched my entire being to tie the knot that had taken hold of me. I managed to get free my mouth and face the disturbing substance, but I still couldn't get up from the dark and sticky floor. What the fuck is this? Why does it keep haunting me? Desperately, I turned my body to face the ceiling, so much I couldn't see the horrors that the floor reflected. It was so surreal, so stupidly unreal. I took a deep breath, closing my eyes tightly, but I quickly opened them to make sure nothing would come after me. Now, the roof had disappeared. The sound of a huge fire made me doubt that this was really just a trick of my mind. I could see how some trees, which had covered the full sky, burned, and in their ashes, and black creatures appeared again. There was no escape. Why did you let us die? Howard! Shut up! Get away from me! Fuck off! I shouted at his voices too much difficulty because a knot in my throat had me almost speechless. Slowly, my sight was covered with the black creatures. They managed to grab my arms and raise my torso little by little. Arthur! 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 They moaned my name so much pain. Scared. Please. Anyone. Help me. Sorry. Sorry. Tears streamed down my face, and I begged to wake up from this nightmare. Arthur. 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 The voices gradually took on a feminine and vaguely familiar tone. I still couldn't see anything. I just felt how my body was moved with desperation. Arthur, it's me, Aldara. Aldara? She's my best friend, of course. She sounds very sad and worried. Aldara, help me. The knot in my throat wouldn't let me say what I wanted. I felt my arms wrap around my back and pull me into a warm embrace. I'm here, buddy. I'm here. She rubbed her face with mine to calm me down. I'm sorry. I awkwardly tried to keep talking. Just breathe. Keep breathing. She silenced me so I would not stop wasting my time on non-existent air in my lungs. Or not, yeah. I managed to take a deep breath and began to exhale it slowly. That's right. Just like that. I felt her pause caress the fur on my shoulders and arms. Little by little, my heart rate stabilized. My slight sight returned, my senses sharpened, and the dark world filled with colors again. The black nothing that curved my body was gone. The misshapen hands and faces slowly disappeared. You're safe. I won't let anyone hurt you. And with that, and us kind of hitting that mark, it's a scene change, and it's like, yeah, I think we're gonna cut it here because that was where we ended last time, almost a year ago. Yeah, it'll be interesting seeing how this game plays out, because there's more questions than answers since we just started in like 30 minutes or something like that. An hour into it, give or take. Woof. Panic attacks. They suck. Don't think I've ever had one like that. Usually, I don't know. But, that is going to be the end of this Let's Play. The first one. So, please comment, because I like comments, tips you like, dislike, tips, tricks, otherwise. If you like my YouTube and likes it grow, then please like, subscribe, and check out the videos to help it grow. And please remember to spay your animals to help control the pet population. And if you want to play this game, it's available for free on itch.io. But if you want to support the people that make this game and or get the news version earlier, you can go to Patreon, where it's $3 a month. Yep, verified right here. And until next time, let's wait. Me, GamerWolfSix, of Unveiling, a game about, I don't know, the truth of the world's coming away, or something like that, or something. I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure it out. And panic attacks. I mean, looking at the synopsis here, it says you're a cook of a small restaurant located in a quiet town. You've never had any worries. Everything is fine. Everyone loves you. Your friends love spending time with you. They love you and always will. Then why do you feel that there's something wrong? Something sealed within you. Something prevents you from seeing the truth. Something tells you that everything is fine. Something has locked everyone up. It's weird that it says something has locked everyone up, which is weird. Which I do kind of wonder, what is going to be the, overarching thing of this story? Because it's like, is it that, like, the main character is, like, some kind, used to be a demon and now is, like, a furry, or, like, something like that? Or is he, like, some kind of were creature, or something like that? Like, for some reason, he had a well-respected restaurant, but now, people are barely coming in. I don't know, maybe he had an orphanage or lived in an orphanage and everyone died, because it's kind of giving me the feeling like that, like going into that one person's brain in, Psychonauts. Never played the game, but, do know that thing where it's like, here's this person that's happy and it's like 70s, 60s, like, thing, but then also it's like, yeah, they ran an orphanage which burned down. They could hear the thoughts of the kids, begging for help, but she couldn't do anything about it, kind of thing. As they all burned alive and stuff like that, which that would be fucking traumatizing. And yeah. Hmm? I was just looking down the synopsis here, and it's like, it covers like, it's psychological horror and NSFW and stuff like that, but it's also like, this game covers topics of death, unaliving yourself, PTSD, slave traffic, and non-con. And it's like, huh. I wouldn't I wouldn't expect this game to like death. Sure, death is in a lot of furry vision novels. Suicide? Well, yeah. It's like okay, like maybe people being tempted by it, but I don't know about actually causing it. PTSD? Yeah, okay. Slave traffic? It's like yeah, okay. But then the non-cons, like in a game like this where everything's not fine, but it's like this game seems so cute for a game that would have that in it, even if it's just like a slightly hinted background story thing. Hell, oh well, we're just going to have to see, I guess. Anyways, yeah, spay your animals and all that stuff, and until next time, another Let's Play, me, GamerWolfSix, of Unveiling. I don't know why see that, like, I guess I'm dyslexic. I keep on being like, unraveling. It's like, no, unveiling. Anyways, thanks and see ya.